YouTube is truly an amazing place. If you think about it, anybody with a phone, camera, or any other means of recording anything can make, edit, and upload a video to a channel. If they do well enough on a channel, they can start to make revenue and a partial income. And if they do above and beyond, they could eventually possibly make a living off of YouTube. Not many people get to say they can do it, but even now, it's very difficult to do so. Hey guys, Cheerio here. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about why small channels almost have no possibility of making a full-time living off of YouTube. Now, when I say no possibility, I don't mean entirely 0%. There's obviously those channels that get big. I've seen them in the past couple of years where they actually do gain a lot of subscribers or views or something like that, and they can actually, probably make a good amount of revenue, and they might be able to make a living off of YouTube in general. But in the most population, no one's really going to be able to do that. Now, obviously, the people that can make a living off of YouTube, there's a lot of people that do that, but compared to people who actually put out videos and just all the accounts on YouTube anyways, it's a very low percentage of people that will actually be able to make a good amount of money off of YouTube. So, in today's video, we're going to be talking about that, why it's so difficult. And I'm going to talk about a specific subset of channels for me personally. We're going to be talking about gaming channels, and right off the bat, I'm going to talk about Call of Duty channels. Now, obviously, this is going to kind of follow the same pattern throughout any type of community, whether you be doing, like food reviews, makeup tutorial, gaming, whatever it may be. This kind of way of thinking kind of always follows through to every category. So, let's talk about Call of Duty channels specifically. Now, if you're talking about multiplayer or zombies, you have your quote-unquote juggernaut people who are really good channels. If you're talking about multiplayer or just Call of Duty in general, you got people like Drifter or KSX Silencer, Merc Music, even though Merc Music does a lot of other games now. But regardless, those are the most people, that's who you think about when you're thinking of Call of Duty multiplayer. There's obviously some other names out there, but those are the people I know of off the top of my head. If you're going about zombies, you got people like Mr. Dalek JD, T-Lexify, or Raffle Waffles. Those are all the people who do a lot of like storyline stuff or just other stuff with zombies, and they're some of the more well-known people that play zombies in the community. And there's always going to be those type of people, no matter what community you decide to make videos for or what you're a part of. There's always going to be those people that are considered juggernauts or just the really big YouTube names, and it's going to be very hard to surpass them in any real aspect of YouTube. So let's say, for instance, I make a video on Call of Duty MWR, Modern Warfare Remastered, and Drifter makes the same exact video. We didn't copy each other, we're not in cahoots or anything, because I don't even know the fucker. And let's say, for all intents and purposes, it's literally the same video. Like, we have, basically the same thumbnail, same title, same tags, and we basically say almost word for word the same stuff. Like, we have the same source and whatnot. So, the whole content of the video is the exact same. Who are you going to look at more? Whose video are you going to click on? Drifter's video, who may have, tens of thousands of views, or mine, who gets not even 100? You're going to click on the more well-known YouTuber name. That's just kind of how we work, We see the bigger numbers, we're going to be, oh, this person's probably a trustworthy source, or they have trustworthy sources. You see somebody like me who's such a small channel that no one even watches, and you're not really going to click on videos and assume that I have a ton of information and sources, and, you're not going to assume I have all of that because I seemingly have no connections with people. My opinion may be the exact same as other people, but based on the fact that I am not those other people that are larger YouTubers, I'm not going to stand out as much. So you're going to click on the person who is more well-known. It's just kind of how we're wired. And I've been trying to steer away from that personally. As I try to find some channels out there who don't have a lot of subs or anything and watch their content. And if I actually do enjoy it, I'll sub, because I kind of want to help out other channels as well, while also trying to grow my own. The next type of thing we have is kind of like the YouTube algorithm in and of itself, People think the YouTube algorithm is changing. Regardless if it is or not, here's kind of how I see it working. And it's not beneficial at all to small YouTubers. I'm assuming the people at YouTube want to make money. Who doesn't want to make money? We're talking about making a living off of YouTube in this video. So YouTube themselves are going to want to support channels who have a lot of revenue and they have monetization on all of their videos, and maybe they put a few ads in there because they get that sweet spot of 10 minutes. and they put multiple ads and they make more revenue. More revenue for the creator means more revenue for YouTube themselves. They take a really large cut out of ad revenue, and the people who actually make a living off of that, it doesn't affect them as much, obviously, because if they make enough money, they're not going to care too much. But YouTube takes a good chunk of the money from ad revenue and AdSense and all that good stuff. So if they're seeing a channel who has a ton of subs and a ton of views and they got positive reception, they have a lot of ads in their videos and whatnot, they're probably going to try to support that person more. Whether, like, I'm not saying specifically YouTube is going out of their way to do that, but personally that's what it kind of seems to be. Is like on the recommended feed, of videos I'm watching, it seems to be, while there's similar channels and similar videos, they're always going to be those big names. For me, is that usually what I'm seeing is there are a lot of those big names. If you're on those channels and you're watching their videos, they're going to recommend people who are like them, but are also going to have a lot of views and whatnot. I'm not saying that's how it always is, but that's, you know, how it seems to be. It's very hard to get recommended in YouTube, like the front page or whatever. Like in a hot video, you got to be doing really well for yourself in order to get up there. And I'm not saying that they should just start pushing everybody, like anyone who makes a shit video and clickbait and fuck. Like, it's not, I'm not saying they need to do that, but it is kind of like sad for the small YouTubers, because it's really hard to get recognition, because you kind of got to plug your channel in places, but you don't want to be an asshole about it. Like, I'm not going to go on PewDiePie's video and comment that people need to go see my channel. And it's very hard to advertise yourself, really. That's kind of like another point I wanted to bring up. Is it's really hard to get your voice out there and get your channel out there without trying to be an ass and plugging it in places, and people will be annoyed with that. If I see comments on any other channels saying like, oh, please check out my channel, I do this, I probably will never look at your channel. I don't know why people think it works. Maybe it does, but I will never personally do that, because I don't want to look at someone's channel who's trying to plug their shit in someone else's. So there's so many things about YouTube that, you know, it's very difficult to get noticed. It's really hard to build that community, and it's really hard. Like, making videos, it's very time-consuming, but it's honestly not the worst part about YouTube, because it's kind of all about in your mental state. That's kind of another point here, is your mental state is just as important as how well your videos are made, because I've been doing YouTube for almost a year now in this, and I only have like 2 or 3 videos that maybe broke 100 views. I don't have 50 subs. Like, I'm not doing too well, but I enjoy uploading videos. It's something I like to do, so I'm going to keep doing it. Some people will see the fact that they've been doing it for more than a year. They're really not getting any return on investment. They're putting all this time into video making and all that, and they have nothing to show for it. That's kind of a really big part, is some people will just give up once they don't see that they're getting anywhere. And that's the really annoying part about YouTube, is you got to be at it for a very long time to get recognized and noticed, because that's how you start to build the community. You know, once it starts building, it can start growing and all that, and everything is all well and everything is good. But it's very difficult to keep your mind in the game, and you got to really want to do it. You know, YouTube is not easy. Anyone who thinks YouTube is an easy career, that you can easily do it, is probably just joking to themselves. Because it's not easy at all, because you got to put in a ton of time and effort into making and editing these videos. It's not something you can do in an hour. You know, maybe if you're making a really short video, but for the most part, they can take a few hours to even just edit a few little things. And it's a very big mental game. You really got to want to do this, and that's kind of, you know, part of that point, is people are not going to want to do it if they're not seeing that return on investment. And that's almost everything I'm thinking of, you know, guys, is the fact that those bigger channels are going to get more recognition. People are going to want to watch them more, even if it's the same exact video. If it's the same thing, you're going to choose the person who has more views. It's just how we're wired. It's unfortunate that it is that way, and for most people, that's how it does work. You know, it's going to be hard to compete with those big-name YouTubers, and YouTube themselves are not going to try to promote your channel if you're not really doing too much, if you don't upload consistently. A lot of people who are just doing YouTube as a side thing, like me, have jobs, and we go to college or school or anything. That's kind of one final little point to bring up. It's the fact that it's very time-consuming. People with jobs and that go to school and everything, it's very hard to find the time to do it without sacrificing sleep or personal life or anything else that goes along with that. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video about these quick little things of why small YouTube channels almost can never make a living or make a profit off of YouTube. It's just my little opinion on this. I kind of wanted to get a quick video out there because it is kind of a topic that interests me, to be honest with you, because as a small YouTuber myself, I would like to see a return on my investment, in saying that I spent a lot of time editing and making videos, but, you know, I don't have much to show for it, but it's something I enjoy to do. So I just kind of want to make something about that, because, you know, there's a lot of people that probably hold the same opinion, and no one watches my videos anyways, as I say all the time, because I don't give a fuck. But again, thank you guys for sticking around and watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheerio, mates.